Good afternoon and welcome back to the Kingston Library Facebook page. My name is Lou. I am a library customer service officer at Hook and Chessington Library. I'm really excited to be here to share with you a teen book review. This is such an amazing category to review. In all 7 of our Kingston Library branches, there's a huge selection of teen authors and teen books. They may be scary, they may be full of action, there may be a crime book, you can have fantasy, you can have romance. It's great because when you are moving from reading in our junior section, these books open you to a whole new variety of topics, writing styles and authors. So I hope this video proves to be very useful for you. So today I would like to discuss Greg Fowler's book titled T is for Tree. I'm guilty, I judged the book by the cover and that is the sole reason I borrowed it. The synopsis of the book does not give a full insight into the depth of what's happening throughout this story. So before we continue, I just would like to advise that this book does touch on abuse, mental and physical. It does touch on terminal illness, and it is not shy about approaching death. So I would advise this book is for the ages 14 plus. Again, everyone reads at a different reading level and has different exposure to the topics covered, so it is your judgment whether this book would be best for you. It's a very powerful read, and despite not being able to find much online about the author Greg Fowler, I still could not wait to get lost in the pages of this story. It is not as of yet available as an ebook or e-audio book, but if you would like to do a key search on our library catalogue, it would show you which branches have physical copies of the book, something you can maybe reserve for free when our libraries reopen. But for now, let me give you an insight into the 2 lead characters of this story. Eddie, born and abandoned. Blunt, yes. His mother leaves him and runs out the hospital and does not even feel she's making the wrong decision, leaving this little helpless newborn baby with her mother, who is named Grandma Daisy. The name is deceptive. Eddie does not have an easy life. For one thing, he's constantly reminded of his facial deformity and his learning difficulties. The author does not go into depth or detail about what these exactly are, so you're allowed to make your own interpretation about Eddie's capabilities and his restrictions. However, throughout this novel, you can start to see really quickly that he will break down all barriers and stereotypes and society's expectations of him and be a remarkable young man. So, you meet Eddie as a newborn, fast forward 12 years, and you heartbreakingly discover that he is alone in every sense of the word. He lives in his attic bedroom with no exposure to the outside world. He watches from a front window of his home life. He watches children go to school, puts names on them, makes up an imaginary lifestyle for them, and he pays attention to the seasons, to the sunrises, sunsets, and heartbreakingly hears the school bell of the nearby school and knows when lunchtime's happening and break time, and yet just feels that he will never be a part of that. Grandma Daisy, her name is a juxtaposition. She is not gentle, she is not a delicate bloom. She is, I found it so hard to read. I was clenching my jaw with anger at her treatment of Eddie, but I will let you discover that for yourself. But thankfully we are introduced to Regan. Regan is 12, she moves next door, luckily she chooses the bedroom, which is adjacent to Eddie's. The one thing dividing them is a tree. Regan is a burst of colour. She is an injection of energy. She is brave, she is bold, and she is above all kind. Jam sandwiches are something I am now craving a lot after reading this story, because Regan sparks hers and Eddie's bond through the giving of a very generous gift of food, jam sandwiches. What is the catalyst for their friendship, you ask? Here's Regan, new to the area, and she's a free spirit. Eddie is contained to this room, only let out once a week to use the shower room. What bonds them? Their bedroom windows are open, and there is a phenomenal tree which grows strong, fearlessly and defiantly into Eddie's window and presses against also Regan's house. They have 5 years of friendship, which is sparked by meeting on these tree branches and watching some really epic sunsets. She introduces him, as the book says, to love, maths and jam. I also would say English literature and geography. I think the author has a really great knack of emphasising Eddie's stammer, his stutter, his nervousness through very short sentences. The chapters are not long, so you are given very quick insights into the growth of this young boy into a man, and you will notice a development, how expression and colour really influence his reaction to situations and people's behaviour. I couldn't put this book down. I have to be honest, I was in absolute tears at the end. There is so much depth to this story, and you become hopelessly attached to Eddie and Regan, and you feel like they are your friends. Eddie, for someone so sheltered, innocent, he has a pretty good way of perceiving the world and how we should approach each day, each moment, each circumstance that presents itself to us. And I would love to read you a little extract to give you an insight as to what his message is. If it's anything you take away from this book, if it's not a love of jam sandwiches, it is his message. "Have a look at this," he said as he gently opened his palms. Sitting in the little bowl made by his joined hands was a butterfly. The wings. Look really, really closely. See the patterns? Not just the colours, but how every little bit of the wing is made perfect to fit along the piece beside it. Those tiny, tiny segments all come together to make him fly and disguise himself and find a mate and see the silvery sheen that protects them from getting waterlogged. The little bits all make a whole. They are completely perfect, and yet we walk by them every day without noticing them. You're perfect, Regan. People don't notice the beauty around them because, like I said, they living on life. They're looking at the big things when it's always been about the thousand of little things. Moving words. They leave you speechless. I really wish that this book was available for you to download right now as an ebook and e-audiobook. Unfortunately, it is not, but I hope that will change. I would love for you, after watching this video, to yourself to experiment reading more teen books. All you have to do is on your Android or Apple device is go to your Play Store or App Store, type in My Library app. It is a red square with white writing, and download it. Type in your library card number and your library card number's PIN, and you can reserve teen books. Teen books are free, and I'll tell you something, the power of their messages is priceless. So definitely do a keyword search, do an author search, be open to the examples of books available that are shown on the different apps pages, BorrowBox, you've got RB Digital, you've got Libby Overdrive, and so many more. So I hope that this review will give you the excitement and the spark to read teen books and get you excited for having a good browse when our branches reopen. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that Eddie moves you as much as he's moved me. Thank you. Bye.